The fact that such men have found themselves onto the United States Supreme Court shows the system is broken. It's all broken, and it must be fixed. Power corrupts. Absolute power, as they say, corrupts absolutely. And we are seeing a season of American corruption that is unprecedented in American history. The type of political corruption and human corruption the founders feared the most. We are witnessing the rise through demagoguery of an American Caesar. His name is Trump. He will burn down the American Constitution. He will inflict violence on the American people. It is June the 12th. 146 days remain until the American presidential election. And somewhere out there today, Martha Ann Alito is angry and she's plotting. Remember this, she's German and she's coming to get you. This is The Morning. Lauren Windsor's recorded conversations with Samuel Alito and his wife, Martha, show a couple of things. One, with regard to Justice Alito, it shows his incandescent arrogance. He doesn't care that he's talking to a perfect stranger. He just starts spewing the political extremism and the partisan vitriol upon contact. It is extraordinary. During the confirmation hearings for the Supreme Court justices that I was involved in, there was a phrase that I became used to. It was called judicial temperament. Samuel Alito has judicial distemper. This partisan man is unfit. He is corrupt. Samuel Alito should resign from the Supreme Court of the United States because his presence there undermines the public's faith in the integrity of the court. Alito was confirmed on January 30th of 2005. I remember the date. More than any other justice, next to Clarence Thomas, he has desecrated the reputation of the court. He's burned it. And that crisis of legitimacy, if it is not dealt with by the Chief Justice, John Roberts, will define his legacy. John Roberts is an institutionalist. He made that clear over and over again during his confirmation testimony 20 years ago. Unfortunately for the Chief Justice, the judicial saboteurs who sit on the bench, Thomas and Alito, chief among them, have made that impossible. The Roberts tenure will be defined by the lack of ethics, by the lack of integrity, by the trips around the world for the bought and paid for right-wing justices, for the Christian nationalists who believe that they are in an existential struggle between right and wrong, good and bad, and that only one side can win. Christian nationalism is real, it's here, and it's very dangerous. This notion that there should be no separation between church and state, that we are a Christian nation for Christians, it's wrong. The fact that such men have found themselves onto the United States Supreme Court shows the system is broken. It shows the confirmation system is broken. Shows the Senate Judiciary Committee is broken. Shows the U.S. Senate is broken. It's all broken, and it must be fixed, not made worse. Let's understand what we're listening to when we hear Martha Ann Alito.
They're persecuting you, and you're like a convenient stand-in for anybody who's religious.
Look at me. I'm German. I'm German. My heritage is German. You come after me, I'm going to give it back to you. And there will be a way. It doesn't have to be now, but there will be a way. They will know. So don't worry about it.
Let's be direct. She is completely unhinged. Think about what a crazy thing this is to say to somebody, no matter how tanked you may be. She may have been on the second or third bottle of Chardonnay. That's her reputation. But that doesn't excuse the craziness. I'm a German. I'm coming to get you. There is only one thing that she could possibly be referencing: the cruelty of Nazi war criminals as they ravaged Europe, mass executions, the caricature of being put up against the wall, brutal reprisals. I've been to one of those places in the Czech Republic. It's called Lidice. The Germans salted the earth. They lined up the men in the village. The SS let the parish priest go, but he chose to die with the flock, an act of Christian love, not Christian nationalism. The children were all sent to concentration camps where most of them died, along with their mothers. There's nothing left at Lidice except this monument to the children. What a sick thing to say. On the one hand, while she's demeaning and savaging gay Americans and proclaiming herself as a disciple of Christ, she exposes herself as a cruel person, a nasty person, unhinged, a political extremist, radicalized in the Trump era. Power corrupts. Absolute power, as they say, corrupts absolutely. And we are seeing a season of American corruption that is unprecedented in American history. The type of political corruption and human corruption the founders feared the most. We are witnessing the rise through demagoguery of an American Caesar. His name is Trump. He will burn down the American Constitution. He will inflict violence on the American people. He will use the power of his office to avenge criticism, to punish dissent. How do I know this? Because over and over again, he has told us he will do it. Listen to him. If you liked what you heard, hit the like button and subscribe. Join our growing community. We'd love to have you along for the ride and the fight ahead. 146 days from today, the last votes will be counted. Let's imagine the scenario. President Biden is winning by 2 points nationally, but Donald Trump refuses to concede. Imagine what Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley, all of them will be saying on the morning shows the day after. What will happen when the Proud Boys start beating people in Washington, D.C., but on a more pronounced scale? Where in the country will the political violence trigger? It will be the only question worth paying attention to, and it will absolutely happen as sure as the sun rising in the east. It will happen because it's part of the plan. Here's the thing. Election day is going to be the beginning of a profound crisis. Because when Donald Trump loses this election, he's going to do what he did last time, absent all of the mistakes. The 4-year project has been to onboard everybody in the Republican Party, every legislator, every member of Congress, and every senator, that we now live in a world where it's impossible for them to lose. They can only win. Losing is evidence of conspiracy, of theft, of the rigged election. And so they don't believe that the American people decide who has power in America. They believe power is theirs for the taking. Might makes right is their creed. And the extremism has flourished and it has grown. And now, 146 days out, a few weeks from the debate, the American people are starting to see the difference. There is one party that respects the rule of law, our traditions, our history, our flag, and our Constitution. And there is another, the third oldest political party in the world, hijacked, corrupted. It has become a vessel, a cult of personality that venerates this man, the man who wants to burn it all down. Because if he can't have power, he wants you to have misery. He's as sick as it gets. And the party that supports him, that worships him, is as sick as it gets also. And the only force in the world that can bring it to its closure is the American people. We have to say no. No to the Martha Alitos. No to the Samuel Alitos. No to the Donald Trumps. It's time for them to understand where the red line is. And their encroachments on our liberty, on our freedom, on our peace, and our prosperity have gone on and have gone far enough. Let's bring it to an end. This is The Warning. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning, and I invite you to join, subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.